organization in mind. So a lot of times organizations think of portfolio management from a project standpoint and don't align it with the basic term of a financial portfolio.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of times some organizations, if you don't spend time on this aspect of, you know, reporting out what's going on across your board, across all the different projects, especially if you have a big team, is then you just can't see, you don't have that visibility. So imagine if you had like on your, the old fashioned mail, you had, you didn't have a portfolio view of all your finances. You just had individual stocks and all that other stuff. You wouldn't know how you're doing as a whole, aggregate.
Correct.
You could see that on this project we're doing well, and that one we're not doing well. On this investment we're doing well, but not on that investment. You This is where the tools kind of come in. Something like Project Insight can help you with that, because you can get some visibility of what is going on everything all at once.
You want to show us something there, Steve?
Well, I guess so. We
Um,
can show, like, so here's, a typical view out of our tool of, your whole entire portfolio. I'm organized by department here. And, this view has the health of the project, what it's for, how far it's done, how long it is, what the value is, any last comments. So this is just one way to look at a portfolio. A different kind of view would be our cross-project Gantt view, where you can see the timeline of all your projects. Same thing, I've got my health showing in the name of the project, and then these milestones are showing here where you can click on them and see what's going on. So this gives you a way to see what's going on across more than one project at a time.
And the health indicators on Project Insight, you set them up as kind of a standard, and then it automatically identifies when you're kind of exceeded or you're below what you're expecting, right? So that people
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
have
we
to
have
think about
a
it.
we have a way. This one's the project manager assessment, but there's health indicators that give you guidance. Just because, when the automated ones don't mean necessarily, if you might have a yellow indicator on your finance, but then you might know, as this is where like the tools can help you, but they don't
Mhm.
actually do it for you. We tell
Right.
you, hey, you're behind schedule on the finance. Well, I'm only behind schedule on the finance because we didn't receive this or that or the other thing. So I'm actually green, even though the indicator might be saying you're yellow. So we have both the indicator, the overall one where the PM gets to assess it, but then the indicators give you a guideline on.
And that's where that knowledge comes in, right?
Yeah,
So
right,
yeah, so it isn't. So it isn't just about the tactics and being able to
right.
make a formula. You got to apply some educational knowledge, some anecdotal or just qualitative
Right.
decisions around that
Well, and
collecting data.
when we work with our clients with who use our tool, we don't we basically we're trying to make it you have the time to be able to do the project management. The tool isn't, we talk about automating the project manager's job, and that's one of our visions here, but we don't actually have like a robot doing the work. We
There's no
save you,
wand.
right.
Yeah.
The
So
goal
as
of
we get more automated, more AI out
right.
there, those 12
Well,
principles come into play even greater.
Even
well, I mean,
more.
what
Yeah.
the tool does is saves you the time,
Yep.
because these couple views I'm showing you, if everyone's filling everything into the tool, the tool produces the view all in real time for you. Now you have time to actually look at, you're not spending your whole time putting it into a bunch of spreadsheets, and then you got to do the assessment after you've done all the work by hand. If we save you hours of time of spreadsheets, now you actually have the time to do the 12 principles,
Yeah, that's great.
and that's the whole point.
That's
It
great.
really is. You go out from the rowboat, right? You go out from
Yeah.
rowing in your project, and now you're spectating, and here you are on your cross-project game, actually looking at all of your rowboats
Right.
going in the right direction at once, right? You
Right.
get
And,
that
one
right
more
there.
view before we move on. So the same thing here, showing you the cross project Gantt chart. Well, now this is how those projects affect these resources capacity. That's all automated too. So you can look at, I got my projects loaded, I got my portfolio. Well, now are my people able to even do these work? Well, these are the projects they're on. So the goal of the tool, like I said before, is that we can, just by working the tool gives you it gives you the visibility you need to be able to make those assessments and to do all of the other things you have to do as a project manager.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.